The sun was sinking behind the Arizona mesas, painting the desert in glowing reds and purples. Jack Connor, known to most folks as the cowboy who stayed when everyone else left, leaned on the fence of his small ranch, watching the silhouettes of horses move slowly in the dusk. Years of weather had carved deep lines in his face, but his eyes were still sharp, the kind that remembered things long after the world forgot them. He lived alone now. The nearest town was 20 miles away, and the nearest friend even farther. Yet Jack didn't mind the quiet. After decades working cattle, fighting droughts, and surviving the long, lonely life the frontier demanded, he had learned to appreciate the stillness. But loneliness has its own memory. And on nights like this, when the desert wind carried faint songs only the old tribes remembered, Jack's thoughts drifted to the past, to a firelit evening 10 years ago when he met a girl from the White Mountain Apache tribe. She was young then, standing at the edge of his camp with a basket of herbs slung over her shoulder, watching him with bright, curious eyes. Her name was Nane, meaning, Spirit of Dawn. She had laughed easily, moved with confidence, and spoke truths with a courage Jack admired. Though their worlds were different, they had shared quiet conversations beneath the stars during the few weeks her family traded near his land. And then, as quickly as she had appeared, she was gone, taken north with her people. Jack never saw her again. At least, that's what he believed. A shadow on the horizon. On this particular evening, as Jack tightened the fence wires, he noticed a distant figure riding toward his ranch from the ridge. The rider moved lightly, as if respectful of the land beneath them. Jack shaded his eyes and waited as the horse approached. When the rider finally stopped a few feet away, Jack's breath caught, not because of danger, but recognition. The young woman on the horse dismounted in one smooth motion. Her black hair was braided with turquoise beads, and her features were older, more defined than he remembered, but unmistakably hers. "Nane," Jack whispered. She smiled, that same bright, steady smile that had stayed in his memory like a warm ember kept alive through winters. "It has been a long time, Jack Connor," she said, brushing sand from her woven sash. "But the desert told me you would still be here." Old memories, new roads. Jack guided her horse to the trough and offered her water, though she waved it off and thanked him with a polite nod. They walked toward the corral together, the desert quiet around them except for distant coyote calls. "I thought your family moved to New Mexico," Jack said. "They did," Nane answered. "But I went farther, to study herbal medicine and help my people. I traveled for many years." Her gaze moved to the horizon, soft but resolved. "Now I have returned." Jack studied her carefully. Her posture carried calm strength. Her voice held certainty. She was no longer the curious girl from the firelit night but a capable woman who had seen much of the world. "What brings you all the way to my ranch?" he asked. Nane hesitated. Not from doubt, but from choosing the right words. "I came to see the man who once offered me a seat by his fire when I was a stranger. The man who told me stories about the stars, even though I told him mine first." She folded her arms gently, not confrontational, just thoughtful. "Do you remember that night, cowboy?" Jack chuckled softly. "I remember more than one night." She looked at him with a warm seriousness. "Then you know why I returned." Jack opened his mouth, but no words came. The path between two worlds. They sat on the porch as darkness gathered. Jack lit a lantern, its golden glow flickering against the wooden boards. Nane listened as he explained the quiet life he now lived, working cattle, fixing fence posts, tending the horses, and sometimes helping the Apache families who passed through. "You helped us even when others would not," she said. "Many in my tribe speak well of you." Jack shrugged, embarrassed. "Just did what anyone decent would." "Not everyone chooses decency," Nane replied softly. She told him about her years apprenticing with healers, learning from elders, restoring traditions nearly forgotten. She spoke with pride but never boastfulness. Her words carried the rhythm of someone who valued purpose over praise. Jack admired that more than he dared say. A reason for returning. When the moon rose, Nane grew quiet. She pulled a small, leather-wrapped bundle from her bag and placed it on the table between them. "My grandmother asked me to return this to you," she said. Jack raised a brow. "To me," Nane nodded. "You helped her when she fell ill." You carried water for her for 2 days until the healers arrived. She wanted to repay a debt. Inside the bundle was a small carved figure, an eagle with outstretched wings, carved from smooth white stone. Jack stared. I can't accept this. It's sacred. Nane placed a gentle but firm hand on the table. My grandmother said you should have it. She said it belongs to the one who walks both the old path and the new, someone who understands our ways though he was not born into them. Jack looked down, humbled. I don't know about all that. I do, she said simply. I came here today not only because of the past, but because my family will return to these lands soon. Our tribe is working to reclaim ancestral spaces. I will help lead the effort. She paused. And I hoped you would welcome seeing me again. Jack felt something warm stir in his chest, something like hope, but steadier. I never forgot you, Nane, he admitted. It's good to see you. Better than good. Nane smiled in a way that held gratitude rather than tension. Then we begin on honest ground. A small fire for two. They built a small fire in the yard, not out of necessity but tradition. Nane sprinkled a pinch of dried sage into the flames. The scent drifted into the cool night air, soothing and ancient. You once told me stories, she said, nudging him with a light sense of challenge. Now it is my turn. She spoke of journeys through forests, clinics where she worked with elders, camps where she taught children the old songs. Jack listened without interrupting, appreciating the clarity with which she described her world. You've become quite the teacher, he said. I had good teachers. After her stories, Jack shared his own, simpler, quieter tales of stubborn mules, in cooperative weather, and the long days of working alone. Nane laughed in all the right places, understanding the humor even when it hid inside hardship. He realized something he hadn't felt in years: ease. The kind that comes when someone nearby understands your silence as much as your woe. When the fire burned low, Nane rose. I will stay with my relatives in the canyon tonight. But I will return tomorrow. There is more to speak about. Our land, your ranch, and what comes next. Jack nodded. You're welcome anytime. She hesitated only a moment before saying, Jack, I did come here for official reasons. But I also came for a personal one. Her voice was calm, sincere, not dramatic, not seeking anything unsafe or overwhelming. You were kind to me when I was young. That kindness stayed with me. Sometimes what we remember calls us back. Jack felt the weight of her words, not heavy, but meaningful. I'm glad you came back, he said. She mounted her horse, gave him a nod that felt like both a promise and a beginning, and rode into the moonlit desert. Jack stood there long after she disappeared behind the ridge. For the first time in years, the quiet didn't feel like loneliness. It felt like waiting for someone worth waiting for.